Every now and then, I get asked this question. How do I break into cybersecurity leadership? Whether it's becoming a CISO, a head of cyber, or landing a director level role, many professionals hit a plateau and aren't sure how to take that final leap. Well, in this video, I'm going to give you a practical roadmap, not theory, no fluff, real actionable steps that will help you position yourself as credible, capable, and attractive candidate for cybersecurity leadership roles. Let's dive in. First of all, I wanted just to, set the scene, guys. So, CISO, Chief Information Security Officer. What is that? Well, first of all, that's the pinnacle of cybersecurity career. That's the leadership position that you help business to translate security roadmap into a strategy. You help board understand what is the threat landscape and how should business prepare to defend itself from threats that they face. That's a pinnacle of leadership position in cybersecurity. You'll be not only reporting to the board or the senior leadership, advising of how to build your cyber defenses, but you also will be building your team behind you. And depending on the business side, that can be anywhere from few people to probably hundreds of people in the large organizations. But CISO is the one that, you marry technical skills with leadership skills, with communication skills to change the culture and put security at the forefront of the business and making sure that leadership understands where are the cyber risks and how to mitigate and reduce them to an acceptable level. So, how do you get into the cybersecurity leadership? Well, I'm going to talk you through, guys, some of the journey that I have taken and some of the practical steps that I used to get into the cybersecurity leadership. I think the first and most important step, it's transformation, which is essentially it's a mental thing. You're no longer just solving problems. You're leading people, influencing outcomes, and enabling business value. That means your technical skills got you into the room, but they won't yet get you the seat at the table that everyone is craving for. Here's what that mindset shift looks like. You have to stop thinking only in vulnerabilities. Start thinking in risk. Stop solving technical tickets and start enabling business strategy. Stop being reactive and start being proactive and forward thinking. Cybersecurity leadership isn't about being the smartest person in the room. It's about aligning security with business, inspiring teams, and influencing decision makers. I think an important skill comes here is that you need to be able to become a great storyteller. You need to convince how your ideas are the best in aligning security to the business goals. You no longer are, just solving technical problems. You are trying to shape the business to make sure that security becomes embedded into the business strategy and we are addressing problems early on and being proactive, not just solving bad things after they have happened. You don't need to have a formal leadership titles to start building leadership skills, guys. I think one of the important parts is, I've always been talking to people, if you are in a position where you are not responsible or you're not managing people, the easy way to start and build those skills is to start mentoring. Whether it's, interns, juniors, or someone just one step behind you that builds your ability to lead, coach, and communicate. You have to take initiative. You can run small projects, lead tabletop exercises, or take ownership of an area like vulnerability management or awareness training. You can volunteer for cross-functional projects. This shows that you can work across silos a key trait any cyber leader should have. Great leaders act like leaders long before they get the job title. But you can take practical steps. For example, there are now initiatives such as Cyber Mentor Dojo, which is a site essentially created to marry mentors with mentees. You can use, for example, in UK, there is a great project called Caps Lock, where they continuously take on mentors to lead those people who are trying to break into cybersecurity, which is a great initiative to build the skills, to build the leadership skills, mentoring skills, and taking that next step into management, even though you might not be able to have management position at the moment. Because I think the biggest problem that we sometimes face in that journey towards leadership is that, you know, you can't land a role without having experience, but you can't get experience without having a leadership role. So you're always that stuck in that paradox. So mentoring is one of the ways to unlock those skills. And you can always put that on your CV, how many people you have mentored, what have you done for them, how you changed their careers for the better. Another way to accelerate your journey is by finding a mentor yourself who's already doing what you want to do. Look for other CISOs, heads of cyber in your network, people you admire on LinkedIn, community mentors in CISO groups like Slack and Discord communities. You know, don't be shy. Reach out because, without asking, nobody is going to drop in your lap. Most people in our community want to help, and their insights can help you skip years of trial and error. So find yourself a mentor who's already a CISO and who's willing to give you some time and some pointers of how take that leap and next step in your cyber career. Understand the business. That's a very important part. You're no longer playing just technical skills to your advantage. If you want to speak to the board, you need to speak their language. What that means is understand how your business makes money. Learn the basic financials. How does the P&L statements look like? What are the revenue models? What is the EBITDA, which is EBITDA? Connects cybersecurity to the business risk, not just technical threats. So try this. Take some time and sit with your CFO or risk officer. Read business strategy decks. Join internal meetings beyond just security. The better you understand business, the more strategic your security conversations will become. The next one, and it's very important, I've always been a big proponent and I always use the phrase technical skills will land you the role, but soft skills not only enhance your role, but potentially will allow you to keep the role. So here's the secret sauce that most people will ignore. Your soft skills will determine how far you go. As a cyber leader, you need to communicate clearly, even to non-technical stakeholders. Show emotional intelligence, especially during incidents. Influence and negotiate with execs, not just enforce the policies, guys. And practical ways to build these are there are plenty of various conferences, but you can join things like Toastmasters or speak at the local B-sides events. Take courses in communication and storytelling. Watch top CISOs speak and analyze their style. And remember, guys, if you can't explain it simply, you don't understand it well enough. And I think that's another key point. In order to build upon those skills, and you can look at some of my short videos on the channel, I think it's very important skill to be able to take a point from your strategy or take any technical term. And if you, especially if you've got kids or if you've got a wife that has nothing to do with technical acumen or technical skills and they don't work in that arena at all, being able to translate and make people understand part of your role to a 7-year-old, that's a tremendous skill to have because sometimes you will need to break down your strategy to the board. So even, most people will understand who don't have any technical skills or any technical acumen. Next part is, I think when it comes to cybersecurity leadership, landing the role just by applying, it's quite hard. And potentially, it'll take a long time for you to get there. So grow your network and your opportunities will grow as well. So your network is your net worth in leadership. Many CISOs and senior cyber roles sometimes aren't in advertised. They filled via referrals. That's why you should join CISO groups, Slack channels, and communities. Attend and speak at events, B-sides, local cons, industry meetups. Post your insights and experience on LinkedIn. Build a presence. Again, I think that's an important part. I was intentional what I did with my LinkedIn presence and my sort of thought leadership throughout the years that led to the culmination and building a personal brand, which I think can allow you to take that next leap into cybersecurity leadership. It allows you to showcase your thinking, your ideas, and potentially open up your presence into new opportunities. Because the more people you know, the more doors potentially will open, especially when your name starts coming up in rooms you're not in yet. Now I'm gonna mention a few, I think, important learning resources that I have used and they have been instrumental in my success. So, do you want to stand out? I think you have to start with continuous learning. And here are some of the top book recommendations that I would suggest you guys have a look at. First of all, CISO Evolution. So it's kind of for the modern leadership journey. It's a great book um, on what it is to be a CISO, some of the practical steps to expand your career. Next one is CISO Compass. Again, practical lessons and guidance for other CISOs. A very great book. Now, I mentioned kind of risk. So this is a great book, How to Measure Anything in Cybersecurity Risk for quantifying what matters. Because I think another important skill is when you get to the level talking risk to the boards, we can't any longer rely on 5 by 5 matrices and risk just being score numbers. The better you can quantify the risk and talk in dollar values, the easier conversations around risk will become for you guys. Next one, Smartest Person in the Room. A must-read book on ego, collaboration, and team dynamics. I mentioned kind of soft skills, empathy. These are very important skills that allow you to ascend into the CISO guide. Another great book is there's two book series in CISO Desk Reference Guide, sort of your go-to handbook, how to do practical steps in building your cyber program. And the next one is Cybersecurity Leadership Imperative, a strategy-focused insight book about how to build great cybersecurity strategies. And then to add some bonus brownie points for you guys, you can listen to some podcasts like the CISO series, Security Voices, or Risk Business can keep you sharp between the meetings. And I guess to close it off, let me leave you with this, guys. No one wakes up one day and just magically becomes a CISO. It's built over time through intention, influence, and personal growth. So if you're watching this and thinking, I'm not ready, well, let me tell you this, guys. You're ready to start mentoring, to start learning the business, start speaking, and start showing up like the leader you want to become. And when the opportunity comes, you won't need to get ready because you already be there. If this helped you guys, drop a comment, share this with someone else trying to level up, and follow for more cybersecurity leadership advice. As always, guys, stay safe out there, and hopefully this video shines a light about the path into the cybersecurity leadership.